Breaking beef! We have a beef exclusive here. Juanita and Sean live on the scene for an interview. Juanita, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. I only did this because you're almost at 2,000 followers, so.
Hopefully I will be after this. So.
Slowly, but yeah.
So today we're going to be going over the most recent beef alert and your reaction. Have you seen the video?
I did.
What were your initial thoughts after watching the video?
It was fucking scary. So reliving a trauma.
Yeah, so listening to the audio scared you.
Yeah, no, it was, so what happened is that half my door is missing and there's a huge hole punctured in it and there's debris everywhere. So when you walk into that scenario, you immediately think like, did we get fucking robbed? Like, why is this like this? So when I asked my roommate about it, he was aware of it and he said, oh, I thought you did it. This was New Year's Eve at 1 a.m. I was at Kiltony Arena Show, and then afterwards we went to Creek in the Cave and Sidebar.
And this was before the video started, when that conversation happened?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, all right. But we'll post a picture up here now where that one seems like more, not more, but from the first video we posted, most people are saying that it does look like a dog. And there's been people that have been asking ChatGPT, saying that the scraps indoors more resemble a dog instead of somebody kicking it. The second one does resemble a person damaging the door, though, according to our ChatGPT expert analysis.
Yeah, thank you guys. No, so here's the thing. Whenever he was dismissing the conversation, and it's like, you know somebody, you know their tone, you know what they're doing. Why the fuck didn't you call me whenever you saw that happen? Whether it was a robber or the dog, if it really wasn't you, which it was fucking you, then you should have immediately taken a picture, sent me a text message, said, hey, I'm not sure what's going on, but I ran into this just so that you're not scared. Maybe cleaned up the debris if you felt like it was the dog. But I suggested that it was the dog sarcastically. I said, oh, even if it was the dog, you still needed to fucking tell me. That didn't happen. And then while we were talking, I just needed to know exactly what was going to happen because he has also a history of not following through with conversations and things that he says he's going to do. So I was opening the door to finish the conversation and he slammed it shut, and that's whenever he fucked up his own door, which, by the way, these are two people struggling with the door. He bench presses over 300 pounds. He made a crack in the door. So if he made a crack in the door full force, how the fuck did a 30-pound dog create a whole hole in the bottom door? That's either like a mallet or a fucking donkey kick. What I do believe is possible is that after that, the dog was fidgeting with the hole and maybe spread out the debris. But the initial hole, a dog doesn't punch holes through fucking doors.
So even if the door was damaged by Matthew, do you still believe that your reaction that night with the screaming and yelling and re-entering the room, which caused the second door's damage, was justified?
Yes. I was freaking out because my fucking door's missing. So I don't have privacy in my own living space, in my room. I don't know what's going on. It wasn't communicated to me. I don't know that I'm going to be murdered that night. And it's being brushed off as if, I broke your flower vase or something, which, by the way, there's a history here of the dog reaching things during weird times, like when he bombed his Kill Tony appearance. The dog jumped up in between an island counter that's way too high for her, and she knocked over a tequila bottle and a religious bottle. This dog is out of control. Deborah.
Oh, okay. And do you have any other evidence that would disprove the video showing that the door was damaged in a punch? Because in the video, we can hear there is a struggle for the door, and with two individuals struggling for the door, it sounds like it was busted through that fight. Does not sound like a punch, but through the struggle with the door being pushed together, and then Matthew acknowledges it that he was pushing on the door back. He says, trying to keep you out.
No, he didn't push on it. I was trying to open the door, and then he like punched it, because it's like a struggle like this doesn't.
Because it sounds more like a shoulder hitting a door.
It might have been his shoulder. He was on the other side of it, but it was a strike. It wasn't like I was like pushing in.
But then you were immediately in the room.
Yeah, after he like hit the door, he was like fuck, and then I walked in the room because I was like, what are we gonna fucking do?
There's not time. The time frame sounds like you pushed the door in and entered the room.
No. He hit the door, and then because he fucked it up, then I entered the room, and I was like, what are we gonna fucking do about this?
Within like half a second?
Yeah, it was like really fast. It was like punch, door, or like whatever, shoulder or whatever. And then I walked in the room, and I was like, now there's two things. So basically meaning, before we had to explain one thing to the leasing office, now there's two things to explain to the leasing office. And I know from like another experience that I had talking to lawyers and stuff that it's property damage, it's a Class B misdemeanor, it's an eviction. If I get an eviction, I don't have a place to live. So yeah, I'm freaking the fuck out, and it is rational. Like it's crazy to like look at me and be like, why the fuck are you reacting like this? You're being crazy. Yeah, this is a fucking crazy situation. If all of this would have been avoided if it actually was the dog, and he would have just texted, hey, this happened. Here's a picture of it. And I'm like, oh shit. Well, I guess we got to tell the leasing office, we got to figure something out. But instead, he ignored it and had a camera ready to go because he was inciting an altercation. That's what it feels like. It feels like he was preparing for something where I was gonna have a crazy emotional reaction to like some crazy shit, and he was gonna be level-headed about it, capture it on camera.
So you're saying the video was manipulating the situation, basically.
I believe.
It was a out of character video that is not comedy like that. It was just for the moment.
Yeah. And the crazy part is that all of this stems from issues with him wanting to move out. And even in the long video that you have, I explain a timeline of like, hey, you can move out tomorrow. It's okay. I'll figure it out. Yes. And he insisted on moving somebody of his choosing into a room that he lived in because he still claimed it was his room. It's like, no, once you move out, motherfucker, you're done. Like, it's my responsibility to figure out who I'm going to live with.
Yeah, initially you guys were arguing back and forth about him having somebody else move into the room and you didn't want them to move into the room. But after around 8 or 9 minutes into the video, Matthew does agree to your terms, saying he will go downstairs and sign the paperwork removing his name from the lease, allowing you to take full responsibility. Full responsibility
with property damage now. So that's where that logic isn't valid anymore. And that's why I couldn't let it go, and I had to still figure out what are we gonna do. Because if everything was fine and dandy, if all the doors were in place and we're all good, then yeah, go downstairs, we got in an argument, leave. But now there's damaged property. It's totally different circumstances. You should have taken all the chances that I gave you to leave. And it put him in a position where he had to let me get off of the lease. I was like, I want to leave immediately. I want to be off of the lease. And I think if he had any validity in what he's saying, he wouldn't have agreed to let me go and keep both the rooms, have to find a roommate, deal with the damage.
Okay. All right. And if you're saying that the whole video was staged at the time that he planned it, because Matthew states he woke up. This was when you got home. The video metadata shows it was at 3:48 a.m. And so he was planning this at 3:48 a.m. for when you got home, or for hours ahead?
I don't know when he did it. I think it might have been ahead. I think he thought that I was going to get home earlier, because I do think that I think he kicked the door or something where the door is low, had some sort of reaction, and then I think the dog, being a dog, was messing with the hole.
It was also New Year's, which fireworks going off, and the dog is a pit bull.
We lived in another apartment together, and it was 4th of July. The fireworks were much louder, and there's lots of Guatemalans having parking parties, and the dog never did anything like that. So I know this dog very well. She loves me. I really miss her, which that does suck about this. But none of this checks out.
Okay. So yeah, if we are saying that it is not the dog, and you're standing by that the damage to the door was caused by him punching it and not in a struggle here.
Punching or like kicking. The first door?
The second door. The first
No,
door
the second door, yeah. I was like trying to get in the room, but he either with his like his shoulder or with his fist like broke his own door.
And so you said that this is satire. Can you tell me what you mean that this situation is satire now?
It means that this is for entertainment purposes only. So everything said here is for entertainment.
Mm-hmm. And even though this is a scary situation, you are still wanting to put out your side of the story and provide good content for the people.
Yeah. Because we're already fucking here, so we might as well deal with it. I wasn't gonna say shit, but here we are.
And I feel like it may also be good to state our relationship between Juanita and Sean, because during the video I do mention the what you said to me there, but Juanita has apologized, and we have squashed the beef.
Yeah, it's only because I want to have sex with him. He won't do it. Just fuck me.
I get awkward when women talk to me, but women with dicks even more.
Oh, wait. I'm not a woman. I'm just wearing a dress. Oh!
There we go. The most famous woman in Austin here with Sean Stewart for Beef Alert.
Yeah, hurry up, because Rogan has a thing with me.
He does? Shit.
Yeah.
He's gonna fuck you.
Yeah, we're best friends.
His wife can't.
No, he's not going to fuck me, but we are best friends.
Oh, okay. Do you have any other final comments on the situation?
No, I think, and you saw, I sent you pictures of like messages with me and him.
Will be included.
On December 8th, I told him, I was like, I don't want to be like friends or anything, but I wish you the best. Like your girlfriend Amira seems like a nice person. Happy for you. Let's start the year off on a good note. You saw that.
Yeah.
So that's one of me, just like, I don't want to fuck with you, but like, let's be peaceful about this. And then when I actually moved out, I told him, I sent him a text message like, hey, I don't think we're ever going to repair anything, but if you want to have a constructive dialogue about this, I'm open to it. Mm-hmm. Meaning like, I can understand your perspective, you can understand my perspective, and if we're honest with each other, the dog didn't put a fucking hole in the door. Mm-hmm. If we're honest with each other, then we can just move past it and kind of have peace with it. Mm-hmm. None of those messages were responded to, so.
Yeah. And if you do have any other content or any other proof that the night was staged or anything else that disproves what Matthew has brought to us, please include that, and that will be included in this video.
Okie dokie.
Thank you. This has been Sean Stewart with Beef Alert. Now back to you, Sean. Unfortunately, Juanita would not continue the interview unless she had my jacket. Now that you have seen the video and we have gone over the night, would you act differently in the situation you were in?
Yeah, I probably would realize that I was living with a fucking psychopath, and I would have like gotten an Uber to Rebecca's.
Harsh words. Even if the door was damaged by Matthew, do you still believe that your reaction that night with the screaming and yelling and re-entering the room, which caused the second door's damage, was justified?
Yes.